In 2026, a new war in the Middle East suddenly erupted, and this may only be the beginning of a much larger game. Today, I want to talk about something most people are completely missing while the world watches missiles fly and oil prices spike. Behind the headlines, a quiet but massive shift is happening. A new kind of money is being created. Not dollars, not Bitcoin. It's called AI token. And whoever controls the right to create it is becoming the new central bank of our time. Let me explain how we got here. Back in 2006, Amazon was still seen as just an online bookstore. Wall Street called it that bookseller on the internet. That same year, Jeff Bezos did something that looked completely insane to everyone. He took Amazon's internal servers and storage systems and started renting them out to other companies. He named it AWS, Amazon Web Services. Analysts thought he had lost his mind. Why would a bookstore get into cloud computing? But Bezos saw something others didn't. Every internet company needs servers, but most don't want to manage them. Whoever controls the underlying infrastructure gets to collect rent. Fast forward to today. AWS is now more profitable than Amazon's entire retail business. One department is printing money while the rest of the company still does the heavy lifting. Friends, the exact same playbook is repeating itself right now, except this time they're not renting servers, they're renting AI printing machines. The companies racing to control this new infrastructure are Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta. And according to recent reports from Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, they're projected to spend over $1.5 trillion on AI capital expenditures between 2023 and 2026, and another $2 trillion from 2026 to 2028. That's not a prediction. That's signed contracts and real money already committed. So what exactly are they buying? They're not just buying chips or servers. They're buying the right to mint a new form of currency, AI tokens. You might think token just means the credits you spend when chatting with ChatGPT. It's much bigger than that. For thousands of years, every currency in history has existed to price one thing: human labor. A day's work gets you a certain amount of money. That's how economies have worked since the days of clay tokens in ancient Mesopotamia. But now a new kind of labor has appeared, AI. It doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, and can be copied infinitely. The price of this new labor is measured in AI tokens. Every time you ask an AI to write code, analyze data, or generate video, it consumes tokens. That's the wage paid to artificial labor. So who gets to print these tokens? Only a handful of companies that control three critical things: the GPUs, the actual printing machines, the data centers, the factories, the electricity, the fuel that runs 24/7. That's why we're seeing tech giants buying nuclear power plants, signing massive clean energy deals, and even building their own reactors. They understand that controlling energy is controlling the cost of minting money. This is the new monetary system being built in front of us. The chain is actually quite simple. Upstream, NVIDIA makes the GPUs. Midstream, the big tech companies buy those GPUs, build massive data centers, and assemble the printing machines. Downstream, AI companies and enterprises rent compute from these big tech platforms. Every time they run a model, they consume tokens, and the big tech companies collect rent. It's the exact same model as AWS. They don't care which model you run. They just charge by the hour and by usage. And here's something very interesting. Not all tokens are created equal. On the same machine, running different models can produce dramatically different amounts of tokens. Some lighter, more efficient models from Chinese companies can generate significantly more output with the same amount of compute. This is why we're seeing certain Chinese models climbing global usage rankings. They deliver more labor for the same dollar. Of course, the U.S. chip export controls are still a major factor. America is trying to slow China down by restricting the most advanced GPUs. But this pressure has also forced Chinese companies to innovate faster in efficiency. In the inference layer, which is where most real-world token usage happens, China is making rapid progress. Back to the big picture. The big tech companies are spending at an almost insane pace. Capital expenditure as a percentage of revenue has reached levels not seen since the telecom bubble. Yet they keep going. Why? Because they're not fighting for short-term profits. They're fighting for permanent toll booths in the AI economy. Once the data centers, power contracts, and fiber networks are built, latecomers will find it almost impossible to catch up. This is a civilizational bet. And it's not just the hyperscalers playing this game. There's also CoreWeave, a company that doesn't build models or applications. It simply rents out GPU compute. In other words, it's an independent mint. NVIDIA itself invested $2 billion into CoreWeave, becoming its second largest shareholder. Even the chipmaker wants to own part of the mint. So what does all this mean for you and me? We are watching the birth of a new monetary layer. For the first time in history, we have a currency designed to price non-human labor. And the companies that control the infrastructure to create that currency are becoming the new central banks. The implications are enormous. When AI labor becomes dramatically cheaper than human labor, the economics of entire industries will shift. The question isn't whether AI will replace jobs, it's how societies will adapt when artificial labor becomes abundant and human labor becomes relatively expensive. That's the real story behind the AI boom. It's not just about smarter chatbots, it's about who controls the new mint and what that means for the future of work and wealth. If you found this useful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think AI tokens will become as important as dollars in our lifetime? I'll see you in the next one.